This is From the Pocket, coming at you live a little later than we normally do. It's Friday, but Christian and I had the day off. Busy week. Weren't able to get y'all on Wednesday, so wanted to come in and talk about all the craziness from Wild Card Weekend and give our thoughts on what they call the best weekend in football. So I am Jake. That is Christian. Christian, how you doing today?
Good. Today, just want to get it off the rip. It is my mom's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to Mrs.
I will.
Henry.
After this, I will be getting ready to drive. I'm gonna go see them this weekend.
And your brother's birthday's this weekend too, right?
His is Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's funny. My mom's and my brother's are in the same month, a few days apart, and then my dad's and mine are in September, a few days apart.
Man, y'all gotta share your birthdays with your parents.
Right?
It's
It's funny.
No offense to your parents.
It's pretty funny though, but yeah, I've been doing good. I mean, Wild Card Weekend wasn't that great.
Wild Card Weekend was trash.
I'd give
That
it
was
like
a
a
bad
C, D. It was mostly all blowout, except for the Tampa Bay game.
Tampa Bay game was great. That was a great game.
It was the only good one.
But look, I mean, we can kind of just get right into it. I guess we could start with the Houston Chargers one. That was the first one on the slate. I didn't mind that one.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that one because it was a surprise. Like, nobody going into that game said the Texans are going to blow out the Chargers. You and I both said Chargers were not only going to win, but they were going to cover. And the Texans didn't have a chance. Rex Ryan's going out there saying better than a bye week for the Chargers. Like, and the Texans blew them out at home. Like, I enjoyed that.
4 interceptions by Justin Herbert.
Doubled his entire total or tripled his entire total for the year.
Well, let's get into it, Jake. So,
yeah, go ahead.
We are now seeing Justin Herbert twice in the playoffs. Not last year, they missed it. So in 2022, last time in the wild card round, they put up 27 points in the first half. Trevor Lawrence do all 4 of his interceptions in the first half, I believe. Because in the second half, they didn't. They started scoring. And so they had 4 interceptions. They were out to a big lead, 27-10. In the wild card round, and they lose. Now, went back and looked at that game. Now, I think we kind of gave Justin Herbert a pass for that one. You know, Brandon Staley was still the head coach.
They didn't have a turnover. This is the first time a team had blown that kind of lead without a turnover.
Yeah, they didn't turn the ball over. I went back and looked, and in that second half, I mean, they hit a field goal, and they missed a field goal. If everything, now who's just not to say if they would have made that field goal, they still would have won. But
yeah, who knows?
If they would have made that field goal and the game went the way it went, they still would have won by at least a point. Well, 33-31, so 2 points. So they would have still won that game. So we didn't give too much flack for Justin Herbert there. We kind of put it on Brandon Staley. I mean, Justin Herbert kind of gave him a little bit of a pass. This year.
He was on a long list of problems, but was not near the top of the list. So nobody gave him flack for it. So
now to 2025 technically.
Yeah.
We get here and we just have a big just blowout by Justin Herbert. 4 interceptions. After having another lead in the wild card, it wasn't a big lead. It was 6-0 through 2 field goals. So we had Jim Harbaugh, and we said they could do something and win here. So what do you think? Give me your thoughts on Justin Herbert and stuff like that.
I mean, look, it's hard for me to. It's hard to. I don't think there's a defense for Justin Herbert or the Chargers in this game. They played horribly. I mean, they were bad. The Texans early on in that game were giving them the game. I mean, Chargers go down, get a field goal. The Texans fumbled on their first play. And it's this should be a 10-0 game, and instead it's 6-0. The Texans then proceed to not do anything offensively for the next up until the last couple minutes of the first half.
Yeah.
6-0 the entire first half.
They score with a minute left. They get a touchdown. And then with 3 seconds left, they get a field goal. they threw an interception there on the.
Yeah, and I mean the game is not lost at that point.
Oh, they punted.
I think it's
Okay.
10-6 going into halftime or something.
Yeah, still in the game is in the balance.
Yeah, and
And then they fumble coming out of they fumble in 4 plays coming out of the half.
yeah, I don't know if Justin Herbert was pressing. I don't know if I mean look, I do want to give credit where it's due. That Texans defense is really good. It's a really good unit. Like I feel like too often we look at teams and go, that team's not very good because their offense is bad. But like, and that's been the Texans, but their defense has been amazing all year long. They're one of the top teams at sacks this year. I mean, they have been a really good defense. It's just their offense protecting CJ and all their receiver injuries and CJ sophomore slump has made us view this team. And I mean, they went 10-7, like they weren't gangbusters by anything, but
Yeah.
I I am not. I'm concerned about Justin Herbert. That's where I'm at now. I'm a little concerned. It's only his second playoff game. He didn't play too poorly in the first one. I mean, it's so bad when it's like your claim to fame this whole season has been, yeah, we don't turn the ball over. We don't turn the ball over. Justin Herbert doesn't throw interceptions. We play smart, disciplined football, and you go in here and have 4 turnovers. And one of them wasn't his fault. Goes off the hands of his tight end, I get, but like, I mean, it betrayed everything we thought we knew about this team going into it. And I think that's what made it so concerning. It's just hard for me to be worried because I've seen Jim Harbaugh like turn these teams around. I mean, I saw him his first year as a 49ers coach. That team had been bad for a decade. And he takes that team to the NFC Championship year 1. Overtime. Takes them to overtime. And the only reason they don't win is because their punter fumbles it. Or their punt returner fumbles it. So, they're a year ahead of schedule. They overachieved this year. 10 wins in a tough conference.
11 wins.
11 wins in a tough conference when you're still rebuilding. I am not concerned yet. They're going to go into this offseason. They're going to continue to retool that O-line. They're going to figure out their defense, which was really good this year. They're probably going to get a weapon somewhere. Lad McConkey's solid, but you can't. Your entire offense cannot be predicated on a rookie small slot receiver, which is basically their offense was. Quentin Johnston is okay. Josh Palmer's okay. So I think they need to get some more weapons, but Jim Harbaugh, that's never been his priority. If we're back here a year from now, and I'm very confident they'll be in the playoffs next year. Like, this is Jim Harbaugh. He's gonna have another year. They're gonna be on schedule. Like, we are going to be here a year from now, and this team is either going to be going into the divisional or they're going to be knocked out in wild card weekend. If we're having this same conversation next year, we're going to have some serious discussions about Justin Herbert then, I think. But for now, I'm concerned.
It was weird because, like, after the game, I was getting a bunch of just Justin Herbert hate on my Twitter feed. Which I was just like, man, I didn't really think Justin Herbert had these many haters, but
it's been ruined.
It has. I mean, I get it. Like, to be fair to Justin Herbert, his career has been interesting. Was the most passing yards or whatever in his first 5 years. Like, people have crowned him as being, one of those top quarterbacks in the NFL, especially on the AFC side. But I mean,
his start is almost cursed.
Yeah, his start was weird. Again, it was against the Chiefs, and they had punctured
Rod Taylor's
lung. But played the Chiefs tough. I mean, it's tough, man. I think he's a good. Like, he has the arm talent, he has all that stuff. He's tough. Like, he fights through injuries all the time. But I don't know. Sometimes some players just don't have that winning intangible. But I think I'm on your side here with I'm concerned because I mean, this game should have been yours. You were the favorite. I mean, not by a lot, but you were the favorite.
You should have gotten blown out. You lose a tight game. Like,
it's okay. Like, you were on the road in your second playoff game after coming off like a Like nobody would have. Some people would have tore you down, but
All I'm saying is
yeah.
if this had been Lamar,
Whew,
I mean, we'd still be talking about it.
still be talking about it. But yeah, rough game. Um, I but shout out the Texans. We thought they were down and out coming into the playoffs, one and done. Especially me. But
Yeah.
now they're up against the Chiefs here on the road. We'll see what they can do. But yeah, anything else on this game?
Yeah, I just wanted to add really quick. Just on the Justin Herbert thing, like it, it feels like a lot of that hate has been brewing because Justin Herbert, it's very weird because like he is constantly considered a top tier quarterback.
Yeah,
And everybody wants to put him in that elite camp, but some people are like, but he doesn't really, he doesn't have like the wins to back up that justification. But like when you watch him, you're like, well, he is that good though. But I mean, I understand the frustration. It's like you have this guy that like
superior arm talent.
doesn't,
Like
but he doesn't win. Like he
yeah,
doesn't
he's
win that
tough.
much. And all you hear from people is like, but he's an elite level quarterback, and it's like,
It's frustrating.
how are you putting him in the same conversation as Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, Burrow? Like, like this dude does not win near as much as them. All of them have been to AFC championships minimum,
Yeah.
and Justin Herbert hasn't even been in around one yet. Like,
And he's still considered like an elite quarterback. So yeah, that would be my takeaway. Like I think going
Jalen
into
Hurts
next
too
season,
been to a Super Bowl, all in the same draft class with him, Tua, and Joe Burrow. Sorry.
no, you're good. I just think going into next year, we need to put Justin Herbert in that like second tier with like the good but not great quarterbacks.
You can do
Until
worse.
he could, yeah, you could do a lot. You could do a lot worse. Trust me. Um, yeah, I just think it was funny. I kept seeing like Tua versus Justin Herbert like conversations. I'm like, dude, I would much rather have Justin Herbert. I know it's not great, but they're about on the same platform. Like they both have not won in the playoffs. Justin Herbert has been one more time than Tua.
He's also dealing with the Chargers curse, which
Yeah, which
is
I mean,
tough.
there's Dolphins. We're cursed. We're now the leading in playoff drought with 24 years now.
Oh, without a win.
Yeah, without a
Oh, that's
playoff win.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll say is, Cassandra, when we were watching this game, she's like, "Are you gonna go on your podcast and admit you were wrong?"
Yeah, we were
I
wrong.
love doing that. That's my.
I was wrong.
I was dead wrong. So congrats to the Texans. I don't think y'all are getting past this weekend, but hey,
We're root. I think most of America is rooting for you, except for Kansas City.
I'm not. I'm sorry, Houston. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
I'm rooting for the Texans, but I'm gonna
Yeah, I
be.
get it. But
I feel like I'm picking. I know who to pick here.
if the Texans won, I would be sad because the three-peat's dead and Mahomes takes a ding and it's the first time he's lost. But this would be the first time he's lost in the divisional.
Dude, yeah.
This would be the first time since 2018 we have not had Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the conference championship. So, but yeah. Anyway, we can move on. Congrats, Texans. I know a lot of people are rooting for you this week. I hope y'all do well. I hope y'all show out, but it's gonna be
At least
tough
play.
indoors.
Hopefully I'll play well.
All right, this next
The
game,
second one.
I don't have too much to say about it.
Yeah, it was.
It kind of went exactly. See, and this is the same way with a lot of these games. Went the way I think everybody thought it would. Ravens
Yeah,
kind of blew them out. It was 28-14. It was 21-0 at half. Like this game was not
yeah,
competitive. The only thing the Steelers have going for them was, Russell Wilson. I'm gonna throw it deep,
yeah.
and
That's
it
really
works. They get a couple big plays.
that's really what their offense is the Russ deep ball.
Moon
Um,
balls.
it's the moon balls.
One thing I'll say really quick, and then I'll just turn it over to you. Kind of just speak my piece. Is happy for Lamar.
Of course, yeah.
Lamar is really. I just think anytime you have more experience and you do something more and more, you get better at it. Lamar in the playoffs, he's getting better. Like, before last year, he didn't have a single game he could hang his hat on and go, I was good. Last year he played a really great game. He played against the
Good game
Texans.
for the Texans, yeah.
And then now he's got this game. He's got an opportunity to go play Buffalo. We'll see how it goes. That's obviously the big game of the week. But yeah, I'm happy for the Ravens. Definitely feels like they took care of business. As for the Steelers, I don't. How often can we do this? How often can we do this before it's time?
What time for what?
Time for maybe Mike Tomlin to move on. Time for.
Oh, wait, I have another thing about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was, as you know, in the beginning of the season, I was like, hey, if Steelers don't make the playoffs or whatever, maybe we should think about getting Mike Tomlin fired or like part ways. Because I don't think he is eligible. Like he's had them in winning. He has not had a losing season yet. He needs a quarterback, bro. And they have failed him time and time again. They literally have not had a plan since Big Ben left. It just hasn't been. They haven't drafted. I mean, because they're always so good. Like they're always having winning seasons. They're at the bottom of the draft order, and they can't get a quarterback. So maybe they should maybe part ways like Mike Tomlin, be like, hey. But it's crazy though. They've had only 3 head coaches in their entire franchise, man.
It's pretty insane. Chuck Noll. I remember when I learned that, like as a kid, I was like, who was the coach after Chuck Noll? And I was like, oh, it was Bill Cowher? Like, wait, that means... Oh. And then, obviously, Mike Tomlin after Bill Cowher. And each of them have won a Super Bowl.
And he's so... I mean, it's really hard to move off Mike Tomlin because he's so good and he gets the most out of his players except for his wide receivers sometimes. I don't know what I don't know how they keep picking diva receivers, but they just fall to their lap. I don't know.
I think the Steelers do kind of what the Chiefs do, where they find these guys that, like, if not for their attitudes, they would be like higher picks.
Yeah.
But the Steelers are like, we have a great culture. We have Mike Tomlin. We'll take this diva receiver. Same like the Chiefs have done that with multiple players. We'll take this problematic player, and we'll just trust our culture to nurture them. It doesn't always work, though.
Yeah. I mean, if it depends on what the Steelers want to do. Now, like this is as a Steelers fans, I'd be very frustrated not having a playoff win since was it 2018. Yeah, I think it's 2016. I think it was 2018. Not having a playoff win like that, so when you are the Steelers and they play so well defensively, but I mean they just haven't. And I don't think Justin Fields is the answer. Also, just to be clear.
They don't think Justin Fields was the answer. They kept him away from the starting lineup, despite the fact that they were falling out of the sky. They were like, "You will not start for us."
So. Look, if they go into this offseason and Mike Tomlin and them they come to a disagreement, fine, I guess. But I mean, they need to get him a quarterback. They need to get him a quarterback.
I still call him
because he played the AFC, bro. You need a quarter. You need somebody.
That's a great point. You're not like NFC. You can get away with having a bomb ass roster and a middle of the pack quarterback. Not in the AFC. You need that freak of nature quarterback. Colin Cowherd, I saw him pitch something that I didn't think was a bad idea. He's like, you send TJ Watt, you send George Pickens and 2 first-rounders to the Raiders
for the first
overall. Draft Shedeur Sanders or whoever you want. Like if you think Shedeur Sanders is that guy or whoever you want, but like you need to trade up and get a quarterback. Like
I don't like getting rid of TJ Watt. I don't like that.
Dude, I'll be honest.
That's tough.
I know the Cowboys just signed Dak.
Don't get me started on the Cowboys street.
I got Micah, but if we had an opportunity to like move up and draft like a Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels type guy, and I still believe in Caleb Williams for the record. I'm still a Caleb Williams player. Like if we had an opportunity to draft somebody like that, but it was like you have to trade us Micah Parsons, I would do it. I would do it. Like I love Micah. The only active player I own a jersey for. I guess I own a Dak jersey, but I own a Micah jersey.
You don't throw it away.
It's not. I think it's my dad's technically. My dad. I don't even have it. The one jersey I have that I wear is Micah Parsons. Like I love Micah, but if that meant upgrading quarterbacks and being set at that position with an elite level player possibly for the next decade, I would do it in a heartbeat. And
it should definitely be on the table. If the
TJ's getting older too.
Steelers,
I mean, he's been
TJ is
around.
getting older.
He's grown, and your entire team hinges on if he's in the game or not
They
for some
still
reason.
Cam Hayward's old ass still playing for him. I don't know if he'll retire after the season, but
Fun fact. Fun fact. I heard a stat. It was like, man, now I have to look it up.
you're good. I will say though, it should be on the table. I mean, I would hate trading TJ Watt away, but if they look at the tape and then their scouts and their coaching staff thinks like, hey, this is the guy, then you should. You damn well should because you need a quarterback. Because getting these guys and getting the most out of them, it only works so much. And they're in a tough division as well. Uh, the Bengals should be better next year. I don't know. They might, start off slow once again. Um, you play the Ravens, who might have a 3-time MVP player on like QB for them. We'll see what the Browns
They're
do.
drafting a quarterback.
They should.
They're drafting a quarterback.
Well, Sean Watson's going to be out for. I think he's going to be out for next year because there's
I still think Kevin
complications.
Stefanski did something. I think Kevin Stefanski was in a trench coat and tripped him or something.
Just like cut his Achilles, just cut it.
No.
So I mean, and then you got the Chiefs, you got the Chargers, who should still be good.
Got a young
The
quarterback
Broncos
that's
got to
coming
go.
up.
Like it's you need to do something. So
the Texans.
the Texans could be better. So you got to. It should be on the table. I would hate trading TJ Watt, but it should be on the table. If you think Shedeur Sanders is that guy that can get you over that hump, and you think which Mike Tomlin I think has a great staff, like they get the most out of their players. So hey, give it a shot, man. I mean, it shouldn't be off the table.
The stat I was going to say was, I can't remember it exactly, but it's something to this effect. There were 47 players this year that had 9 or more passes deflected. 46 of them were defensive backs. One of them was a defensive tackle, and it was Cameron Hayward. Literally as effective as a corner in some statistical cases. So anyway, Cameron Hayward's
good. So anything more out? I mean, yeah. Shout out the Ravens. Shout out Lamar. They took care of business. They ran the ball well. Lamar did his thing. So.
This is so wild that this is how it's lining up. Like, it's like, who's it going to be? It's like we all assume the Chiefs will be in the championship round. It's like, who is playing them? Is it going to be the Bills or the Ravens? And, I mean, it's literally just coming.
I said this was the era, like, the guest list. Like, and they took care of business, so. Yeah.
All right, well, we could talk about the Ravens' opponent this Sunday, the Bills, shellacking the Broncos. This game looked...
I thought, I was like, Bo Nix threw that deep pass. I was like, okay, we got a game.
7-0, and then they didn't score again. I mean, it felt like they had an opportunity. It was like, I think it was 10-7 going into halftime.
They had some
Broncos kicking a field goal. It's like, if they make this, we're tied going into halftime. This game feels a lot different, and then they missed it. And I don't know how the rest of everybody else felt, but when they missed that field goal, that's when it was just like, you're not winning this game. You're not winning this game. You can't you're not going to leave a field goal on the field with opportunity to tie it and win this game. So
let's see, Buffalo in the wild card round. Oh, they love eating up the 7th round, and they love eating up the 7th pick or the 7th team.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Christian, because I have a couple things I want to say about that. First off, I do want to shout out the Broncos. Great season, 10 wins, First time going to the playoffs in a decade. Looks like you have your quarterback of the future, Bo Nix. I don't know what his ceiling is, but he's a really solid quarterback. He can obviously win you a bunch of games. You're gonna have an opportunity to keep retooling that offense. Sean Payton, he doesn't get to the Super Bowl very often. He's only been one time, but Sean Payton is a perennial playoff coach. You are going to be in the playoffs almost every year with Sean Payton. So, congrats to you. Your future's bright. You lost to the Bills in round 1. Like, you can't.
That's what they do.
It's what it is. Like, you can't feel shame. It's for the Bills. I don't really have anything to say about the Bills. They take care of it.
They did what they were supposed to do.
Bills look really good. Josh Allen continuing to play at just that superhuman level. The one thing I will say is, I know the NFL won't do it.
Are you about to say they should get rid of the
They
seventh
should get
spot?
rid of the seventh seed. This is ridiculous. The
What
seventh
is they
seed,
one in there? The
they're 1
Packers
and 9.
1-9.
They're technically 1 and 10 if you count the fact that the Packers then lost the following week.
But I mean, they got out of the. Is it the wild? Is it just in the wild card or
In the
like
wild
how
card round, they're one
they're
and 9,
1-9? Okay.
and yeah, and 1 and 10 overall. If
I
you
mean,
count the
haven't
wild
they
card
all
round,
been blowouts too?
most of them.
Most of them.
I meant to. I didn't have time this week. I wanted to go through and total up like not only what the winning percentage was, but what the margin of loss was. But like these haven't been close. I mean,
Yeah.
these have, every year the seventh seed is just there to get their teeth kicked in. Like it's always like one of these things is not like the other, and it's always the seventh seed. Um, and it's like the sixth seed gets a win sometimes. The sixth seed, the Commanders won this week.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I really don't.
So should we go back to the 1 and 2 seed getting the
I
bye?
want that. Yeah,
We'll go back to that.
I
I
want
wouldn't hate that. Yeah, it's because how many years has it been?
it. This is the fifth year.
Okay, I was just
It just makes it too top heavy. Like the two team bye, it's like, okay, well I'm not gonna have home field advantage in the NFC championship round, but I'll get a bye and I'll get home field advantage in round two. And now it's like, dude, if you're not getting the 1 seed, I mean, do you even have a chance? Like realistically, who has a chance against the line? And especially, I mean, in theory, if a 7th seed were to win, then you play, like the
then you
Packers
go
did last
play.
year, they had to go play the 49ers off a bye in San Francisco. They almost won, but like, I mean, that's not. It's just, I want them to go back to 6 seeds. It makes the NFL playoffs that much more competitive.
Now, would you say if they go back to the 60, would you mind them not having the second? Like, it still makes the number 1 seed very, very valuable.
Well, you wouldn't be able to do that because
Oh,
you
okay.
would have 5 teams. If you have one team get a bye, you would have 5 teams playing in the first round. You can't have that. So you would have to have 2 teams on a bye in some capacity. But they won't do it because you're basically losing a game.
Yeah.
Like they did this, and now we have 6 wild card games, which is fun. But it's just there's just no reason for it. Like
Yeah, especially if this keeps happening.
I mean,
Like,
they're again 1 and 9. 1 and 9, and these games aren't close. I mean, these 7 seeds aren't losing barely; they're getting their teeth kicked in. The 7 seeds this year, one lost by 12, and the other lost by 24. I mean, these are college football scores.
so seeing what's supposed to be like a really like the NFL playoffs is supposed to be like it's one and done. It's supposed to be like this really high stakes kind of uh, uh, like playoffs, and
Well, and
we're hoping it's supposed to be competitive, and it's not.
and this maybe speaks to a broader like parity issue, but like last year was the same thing. We had one game last year in the wild card that was one possession. Texans 45-14, Chiefs 26-7, Packers 48-32, which was not even that close. Bills 31-17, Bucks 32-9. And the only game that was close was the Lions-Rams, which was a 24-23 back and forth game. Like it's just at some point we're gonna have to have that conversation. I know they won't because again it takes them away.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it.
You go look at the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, and all those conversations about, hey, should we shrink the schedule and take games away? And they're like, no, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. So I doubt the NFL will do the same thing, but they should. Anyway, I don't really think I have too much else on this game. We can talk about Packers Eagles. This is a big one. This is the one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you take the stage.
Yeah, so really quick, just recap. Eagles beat the Packers 22-10. This was not a great game.
Yeah, it was kind of boring.
It was not a great game. The Eagles took care of kind of a business. The big story coming out of this is Jalen Hurts did not play very well.
Okay to me.
I am deeply annoyed by that conversation because Jalen Hurts, this is the first time. First off, he's coming off a concussion. That's a little bit of a detail that people don't seem to be talking about. He's coming off a concussion. He hasn't played in almost a month, and he comes in. His first game back is a playoff game, and we know quarterbacks in their first game back from a concussion do not play well. And everybody's like, why didn't he play well? It's like, gee, I wonder. Like, it's such a dumb narrative. It's like, I look, look. I hate to say this, and I hate to because it hurts to admit this, because I don't like Eagles fans.
Yeah.
But man, dude, they're like, I don't know why people hate on us so much in the media. People do. Like it feels like any opportunity, at least these past couple years under the Nick Sirianni regime, anything people can latch onto to be like, this team's falling apart. We do. I mean, we do. AJ Brown comes out and is like, we need to get our passing game better. Nick Sirianni comes out and says something. Jalen Hurts, like anything people can do to be like, this team falling apart. This team falling apart. This team not looking right. Some off about this team. Like we do it, and then they just keep winning, and we're like, oh okay. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why we're so eager to see the Eagles like have this collapse that they're not gonna have. And it's like Jalen Hurts not playing well though. It's like, no, Jalen Hurts playing fine. Like, but he's not as good. And it's like, bro, it doesn't. When you have a 2,000-yard back in the backfield, I don't want Jalen Hurts to throw.
And a great defense.
I want him to run the ball and their defense play well. Like that's gonna win them.
Don't turn the ball over like that. This is the formula.
Like they're about to go play the Rams, a team that they had almost 400 yards rushing against, or 300. It's 300.
It was something crazy.
Like Jalen Hurts did not have to do anything in that game. It was like, all right, Saquon, just run the ball. And their offense, because their offense is so inconsistent, can't score on our awesome defense. And they won in a blowout. Like, now that team's coming to Philadelphia, what do you think's going to happen? What's that going to look like? And Jalen Hurts is going to throw for 125 yards and a touchdown. And he's probably...
A.J. Brown's going to be reading a book.
And people are going to be like, Jalen need to do more. Like, really, you think Jalen need to do more? That's your takeaway. The team is in the NFC Championship now. Like, it annoys me.
Pat.
Yeah. I have something to say about the Packers, but I'll let you talk about the Eagles first.
Yeah, like the way, because I didn't really watch this game. I had it on, but like I wasn't paying attention to it because it was just kind of the Packers were just not playing well, and so like. When I was like listening to the shows I like about the game, and I'm sitting here and I'm hearing everybody like Jalen Hurts didn't play well, Jalen Hurts didn't play well, and all that stuff, and then AJ Brown over there reading a story or whatever, a self-help book on the sideline, so I haven't like looked at the game, and I go to the stats, and I'm looking at, I'm like, he had an okay game. They didn't seem like they ran the ball very effectively. Saquon Barkley had about 5 yards a carry, over 100 yards.
Down for him compared to the regular season, by the way. 5 yards is a
down. Defense had what, 3 interceptions and a fumble, a fumble recovery, and so I'm just sitting there like, well, what is the problem? Like, he didn't throw an interception. He had he only took 2 sacks. Like no fumbles. Like had a 62.3 QBR, and not great, but it is what it is. But having over 100 passer rating, and they won the game. So like, what is the deal? Like, why are like Jalen Hurts need to do more? No. He shouldn't be doing more, because if he does more, that puts them in jeopardy, because he's not an elite passer. Like, he's an okay passer. I know he had that big game against the Steelers during that season when they were everybody was concerned about the passing, and he had that big game. I don't know if they can do that consistently. I don't know if he can be that 300-yard, 250-yard passer. That's when we get a little shaky. So, yeah, no, this team is a run-dominant team with their 2,000-yard running back, and they play good defense. And you can't score on them. Can't move the ball on them. Can't score on them, can't move the ball on them.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. So, yeah, we should not we messing up the money right now. Like that'd be messing up the money. Like,
It's
well,
very
what are we
difficult.
talking about here?
Yeah, again, I don't know what it is. Like people just wanted
Jake, you're
something.
silent.
Oh,
Sorry, man.
oh,
I
am
don't.
I? Oh, oh,
Did you like mute yourself or something?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll go ahead and talk about the Packers here. Packers, yeah, tough season. For the most part, Jordan Love
Can you
didn't
hear me?
play well. 3 interceptions. He has to. I mean, I love Matt LaFleur in that offense. I think Matt LaFleur is a great head coach. They got a great staff. I like their defense this year. Their defense was really good. Um, but I mean, I hate to put all the blame on Jordan Love, but I think it does share. I don't think he gets all the blame. I think like play calling and all that stuff probably could have been a bit better there, but Jordan Love has to got to take his lumps. He did get that big contract after them having a great well, not a great season. They had a rough first half and then a great second half of the season. Going into the Cowboys last season in the wild card round and thumping the Cowboys and then coming in the divisional round on the road versus the 49ers and playing a tough game, but Jordan Love having mistakes in there. So I think he needs to get in the lab this off season, of course. Stop being so reckless with the football. Take what the defense gives you, run a little bit, and stuff like that. I mean, but this team was very young. Like we have to remember that this was one of the younger teams in the NFL. Offensively, they don't have a lot of stars. I know Josh Jacobs had a great year, and they were without Christian Watson, which I mean, it wasn't. I mean, their receiving core is a bunch of B tier kind of receivers, good but not great. So they do kind of need that stud there for the Packers, but um, and then they play a tough division. I mean, this team did not do well against winning teams during the season, so um, they gotta go into the off season and look what they can do better against winning teams. I mean, so that's what I got on the Packers. Jake. You fixed up, yeah.
Can you hear me?
You're a little muffled.
How's
Okay,
that?
that's better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, let me fix that. Okay, yeah. So look, I understand a lot of what you said, but I'm about to come off as a giant Packers hater right now.
Oh, I still like this team.
No, I am so irritated with how people are like, well, you went to play Philadelphia. What can you do? What are you gonna do?
They
How
were
about
good against
not getting
playoff
the
teams this
seventh
year.
seed? How about that? How about not split games with the Bears? And the only
Yeah,
reason you beat the Bears this year, you went 1-5 in your division. The only reason you went 1-5 is because you blocked a game-winning field goal. Like they went 0-6 against the Eagles, Vikings, and Lions. Lost to
yeah.
two of them. Lost each of them twice a pop. Like I just this team. This
I
team.
did not expect to see it coming
Oh
from the
man,
Packers.
this
I
is the
did not
irritation I
expect
got.
this.
Like I'm so irritated because people are like, hey, good season, great. This was a terrible season. They
I
went
thought this was a good season for
they went
them.
9-8 last year as the seventh seed.
They went 9-8. I thought they went 10-7.
Either way, they ended up
They won 11 games.
and they were the seventh seed again.
That
This was
is,
supposed to be the year that they took a step, and they were the seventh
look,
seed again.
look. To be fair, I had them missing the playoffs. Like I didn't think they were gonna be this good. I thought they were not
They
gonna do
were.
that great.
I thought
How
they would
many
make the
we got?
playoffs.
One,
They
two,
were a trendy Super
three,
Bowl pick, though.
four,
This was
five,
like
six,
they were the
seven,
team that was
eight, nine.
supposed to take a
Okay, they
step.
were 9-8 last year, right?
This
Fair.
was the team that was supposed to take a step forward and be like a
True.
Super
I mean,
Bowl
9-8.
contender, and they ended up as the seventh seed again. And like it's like, oh, but Jordan Love got hurt. Yeah, they went 2-0 without him. 2-0.
Well, look, they could go the whole season. I don't think Malik Neighbor or Malik. What's his name?
It's not like they could look at their record and go, well, but if Jordan Love plays those two games, maybe we're 12-5, 13-4. No, he maxed out the wins for you. He got you as many wins as possible in that stretch that he played. And I mean, Jordan Love was not that good this year. Like
He was not.
I did not think he was that. Like last year he was horrible in the first half, as you said. Second half he was decent, or he was. I mean, not decent. He was incredible in the second half. He might have been the best quarterback in the NFL in the second half of the season last year. But we went into this season, we were like, he's gonna land somewhere in the middle, and he did. He's like Brett Favre, but not as good.
Yeah.
Like he's reckless with the ball. He overthrows passes. He makes questionable decisions. I mean, it gets to the point. Matt LaFleur again. Dude came in, and everybody's like, Matt LaFleur on the hot seat now? Matt LaFleur came
Oh,
in,
he's a good coach. I love Matt LaFleur.
saved Aaron Rodgers' career, got 2 MVPs for Aaron Rodgers. And we all thought Aaron Rodgers was done. Like, one with his backup quarterback. We got a dude in Jordan Love who sat on the bench for 3 years, and they were so hard up to not start him that they're begging Aaron Rodgers, we will give you anything you want if you come back to us for another year. Like, they were that desperate to keep him off the field. And it's at the point now where Matt LaFleur's like, if you only throw the ball 15 times a game, that's great. like the more we can keep the ball from you, the better we're going to be. And I cannot fathom how Packers fans can feel good after this season. Like, this was supposed to be a year you were a Super Bowl contender, and you weren't even close to it. You weren't even close.
That's fair.
Like, I know they played the Lions tight that one time on Thursday Night Football, and it was a great Thursday night effort. Great job. They lost, but it was great. They got blown out by the Lions once. They got blown out by the Vikings twice. I know the score doesn't look like
it. That second half in that first meeting when he played,
like they were down by 3 possessions in both of those games and made it look closer than it was. And then the Eagles, they just lost to twice, despite the Eagles not even playing that well in either game in Week 1 and in this past week. So I'm at the point where it's like I'm very unsure if Jordan Love is the guy that can get it done for them. I think this season was terribly disappointing, and I am annoyed at how many people are trying to give them a pass. Like it's like the Dolphins last year with what we did with the Dolphins, where it's like, well, you lost to the Chiefs. Like, you can't fault you for that. It's like you should have been playing the Chiefs. You should have won your division and had a home playoff game. So I just I'm not saying they should have won their division, but they should have been the 7th seed. They should have been lost seeding to a rookie quarterback in the Commanders, who are in rebuild. And the Commanders, by the way, they got their win. They won the game. They won their game. So, yeah, that's all I got.
No, those are all fair. Those are all fair critiques of the Packers.
And it also annoys because like the Vikings, like I feel like people are like the Packers. They're like, good season, Green Bay, and they're talking about the Vikings, and they're like, horribly disappointed. And it's like, yeah, the team that was supposed to win 4 games this year won 14 with Sam Darnold, and I got a couple fun stats about the Vikings we'll get to, but like people are like, Kevin O'Connell, is he on the hot seat now? And it's like, in what world can you say the Vikings had a more disappointing season than the Packers did? The Vikings weren't even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And they got the unlucky draw. They should have been the 1 seed or the 2 seed.
Could have been, yeah.
The only reason they weren't is because they had to play the Lions, which, for the record, nobody does well when they play the Lions. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, yeah, I was annoyed by that. So I'm annoyed at how everybody's talking about this game. People are like, Eagles, disappointing. Packers, good season. And I'm like, that is so wrong.
No, that is fair. Yeah, like I said, Packers, I think they need a number one. They need a big wide receiver, like just like a true bona fide number one. And Jordan Love, what? Oh,
they don't have that. Yeah, no, you're right.
And then, and then and Jordan Love needs to have a long sit down with himself and Matt LaFleur. And but we need to make better goddamn decisions and stop putting the ball in harm's way. Like, rely on this defense that played a lot better compared to the year they went 9-8. So yeah, I think it doesn't fall all on Jordan Love, but he has to take the majority of this blame, like, because it was horrible.
Yeah, and look, Jordan Love, by all accounts, seems like a great dude. Like, I hate to come out here with this super hot fire and just roast him and skewer him, because like, this is a dude. He's just out here, balling, trying to do his thing. I just I was just very disappointed in him this year. Like, I think a
No,
lot
I
of
mean,
people,
especially he got that big money contract. So like, hey,
yeah,
the pressure to succeed is like much higher now that you're getting paid as a not his fault, but like he's getting paid like a top flight quarterback. Like you need to produce, and you didn't produce this season.
no, not at all. So, we got two more games to talk about. This Commanders Bucks game. I don't have a lot to say about it. I just really want to take a moment though and just really praise Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I looked it up. He was the fourth quarterback ever. Yes? Let me check. I think he was the third or fourth quarterback ever. Hold on.
For rookies or
No, it was yeah, so he was the fourth. He was the fourth. The fourth rookie quarterback ever to win a playoff game on the road.
on the road. Yeah, okay. Who was the other
The
three?
other three, you want to guess?
Oh. What? No, it wasn't. Was it RG3? Is RG3 on there?
RG3 lost. Two
RG,
actually, one of the quarterbacks on this list.
is it Andrew Luck?
No. Good guess.
Andrew
Andrew
Luck.
Luck lost his first game to the Raiders. Who
It's
went?
not RG3. Andrew Luck. Patrick? No, he wasn't a rookie when he started.
Almost, yeah.
Uh, yeah, he wasn't a rookie. No.
You're in the right class with RG3.
Lamar?
No, Lamar lost to the Chargers in his first game.
It wasn't Josh. Was it? No, Josh. No, they didn't make the
No.
playoff. I mean, who has a rookie? As a rookie.
Man, it's
What?
getting crazy.
What year am I thinking of? Or
2012 is the class you keep guessing. Andrew Luck.
Cam Newton?
Cam Newton was 2011. He didn't make the playoffs his rookie year.
2012. Who was drafted that year? Andrew Luck. Who was also in that draft class?
There's two quarterbacks. One doesn't.
I,
One you should know very well because you saw him play a bunch for your team. He's taken 17th overall, I think. It's Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill's, but that's not.
I would have never guessed Ryan Tannehill in my life,
There's
bro.
one other quarterback from that draft class, the quarterback that is on.
Ryan Tannehill was in that draft with Andrew Luck?
Oh,
wow.
Quarterback taken. And then there's a fourth one who we've already talked about in this episode. He beat RG3. They were both rookies. Him and RG3 were rookies. He beat RG3 in that first game.
Russell Wilson.
It was
Russell Wilson.
The other two.
You got it.
Joe Flacco.
Flacco.
Made
Yeah.
the AFC Championship his rookie year.
Yeah. Okay.
And lost to the Steelers. And then Mark Sanchez, the following year, 2009, made it to the AFC Championship.
He made it to the. So his rookie, he at least got out of the wild card.
He made it to the AFC Championship.
His rookie?
Yeah, and Joe Flacco and Mark Sanchez both did.
Well, Joe Flacco at least went to the Super Bowl.
Mark Sanchez went back the following year, too.
God, his sophomores.
His 2 years made it to the AFC Championship.
Golly, I didn't know. I thought he was like in the league for a little bit, but damn, his rookie and sophomore season, he made it to back-to-back AFC Championship.
So,
wow.
To be fair, Jaden Daniels obviously accomplished something great, and we want to give him credit. That list does not scream.
Yeah,
but nevertheless, it is still amazing. He was incredible in this game. Like, just poised, confident, game-winning drive. Baker Mayfield totally blew this game for this team, though. I mean, he had a fumble that was at a bad time. They had an opportunity to go by 2 possessions.
I was sad for Baker there because he had a great season.
He did. He had a great season. A little feast or famine when you're Baker, but
Yeah.
Mike, I was wondering this a couple weeks ago. I was wondering like the Bucs like Baker. They're gonna keep bringing him on. He's a solid quarterback. He's awesome. But at some point,
he's still in a contract.
If he keeps just getting to the divisional or the wild card and losing, how many years do you think they're gonna give him until they're like, all right, we need to upgrade a quarterback?
What's his contract like? His contract. Maybe big contract. wait, contract there is. He is supposed to. I mean, they have him under contract at least until 2027, where they could void it. Uh, so they have this year's base salary 30 million, 10 million guaranteed, so 35 million cap hit, which isn't much, and then up until 2026. So they got 2 more years. So this is like not a this is not their long term solution. But he has at least these next 2 years. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so he's got some time, but definitely a disappointment. Bucks had a good season. I mean,
win the division 4 times in a row.
I just thought it was funny because they have wins against the Eagles. They had a win against the Commanders, and
I would have gave him a really good shot too. At least if they would have played the Eagles, like I would have gave him a chance.
I feel like I've heard like for a month now, like, nobody want to play the Bucks, dangerous team. They lose at home to a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Kind of a little embarrassing, but I mean, again, I will say this about Jane Daniels. I know I've been on the Brock Bowers bandwagon, and I still do probably want Brock Bowers to win, but like,
This is gonna be Jaden Daniels.
I also it's already locked up. Like it was locked up before this game.
Yeah.
But I am not going to be upset if Jane Daniels wins.
Yeah.
Like what he did is worth noting.
New owners, new GM, new head coach.
The Commanders fans got the dream. They had to wait for decades for it.
It's wait a while.
They got it all. Like everybody always wants a new owner, new coach, new quarterback, new GM, and they got all of them, and they are reaping the benefits of it. So, congrats to Jaden. You know how it goes. I'll probably be down on them next year.
We'll see.
Just how it goes. People call me. I mean, I guess I was wrong about the Texans. They're going back to the divisional. So
Yeah. True.
I love the Commanders. I respect them. I'm happy for their fans. I know a lot of Commanders fans. I love Commanders fans. Like for some reason, I guess it's probably because we live in Texas, so rivals beget fans.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of Commanders fans, and every time I interact with Commanders fans, I just love them. They're great people.
Mm-hmm.
They're great people. Like I went to this is back when they had their old name. I went to. I don't even know if you're allowed to say. I don't know.
I just would be safe. We don't touch that.
I'm not trying to get this video flagged, but I was back in 2014. I went to a Cowboys game. They were playing Washington. We ended up losing that game in overtime. Which is a bummer, but it was really good. We were at their tailgate and just waiting for the game to start. A bunch of Commanders fans came over, and we were all talking trash. And then we're like, and we just like broed out and had fun and hung out together. Like, love Commanders fans.
Can't do that with the Eagles fans.
Eagles fans are terrible.
Did
you hear about that?
The fan, yeah, he's a fan. He got doxxed immediately. That is, I mean, hey, dude, you're being disgusting and saying obscene things to like people that are just trying to hear to support their team.
They're
and
losing.
Yeah, like you're like
they paid all this money to go watch their team lose a playoff game and end their season, and
you're
being disgusting.
Like, yeah, dude. No, you deserve to, people to know who you are. Like, it's like be a decent human being. Like it's crazy. All right, let's move on. Let's speed this up a little bit. Yeah. Game was terrible.
Terrible game. Again, I've already kind of spoken my piece on the Vikings. Y'all had a good season. I know it didn't end the way you wanted, but tough. Lost to the Rams. They just don't match up well against the Rams. Their offensive line is sus, and the Rams' defensive line created. I mean, they sacked him 9 times.
Dude, yeah, he was just under pressure. I mean, dude, he wasn't throwing the ball away. He was seeing ghosts again. He was seeing ghosts again. But I do think the Rams defense deserves a lot of credit. Obviously,
good young defense. They have
good young
defense.
defense.
Such a good job drafting.
That kid Verse, I like him.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah. Well, the big question is, you paying Sam Darnold this offseason? You paying Sam Darnold?
I would roll with JJ McCarthy if I was the Vikings.
See,
but I do think
I am under. He played himself out of like a Baker deal. Like no 100 million. You ain't getting 100 million. You ain't getting 100 million from me.
You wouldn't pay him. You wouldn't pay him 100 million for 3 years. Give him that 33 million a year.
Was it 33 million for 3 years?
For 3 years, $100 million. It's 33 million a year. Yeah.
Okay, I did the math wrong. Yeah, maybe. I mean, because franchise tag is out of the question. It's like 42 million or something this year. I would not franchise tag him.
If you're the Steelers,
Now, look.
Sam 30. I'd pay Sam 33.
Now, look. It depends on what his market's gonna be, but I wouldn't want to run this back. Like, if I'm the Steelers, I need to get a young. I'm not trying to retread. Like, stay out of that, Steelers, please. But I mean, the Raiders, the Jets, again. Yeah, like it's like, do you want to go play for the Jets? Go back
He's not gonna.
because it's not better. It's not better.
Aaron Rodgers is apparently like, my future with the Jets is going to depend on the owner, the coach, GM hires they make. Which I'm like, that's very presumptuous, Aaron.
All right,
It's very presumptuous that
shut
they're
the
going to
hell
put
up!
a
Shut
GM.
the hell up! Shut the hell! You should not be talking. You had a awful season. You had an awful season, and they were worst with you.
You threw for 7 touchdowns. The vibes were good, Christian.
Okay.
I would
You,
not pay Sam if I was the Vikings, though. I would try to trade. I would maybe sign it, tag, and trade him. Try to get some value out of him. But I don't know if anybody's going to want to pay him the franchise tag.
yeah, I'm not paying the franchise tag. Like I would maybe sign him and then develop JJ McCarthy a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if has he been out like the entire season? Like, is he practiced at all? Or
I don't know that, actually.
because I'm wondering, like, what is he looking like in practice? Has he just been out, or like has he so I don't know. I mean, there's a reason why they drafted him in the first round. I'd maybe run it back again. Uh, but I mean, it is pretty pricey. Not gonna lie. And then for him to play his worst, you know.
Return to on-field training.
Okay, so I don't know if that means like practice stuff. So
He's going to have a full off season. It sounds like he's going to have
okay. I mean, we get a whole off season to see what he looks like. So I mean, the Viking. I mean, the options are kind of open for the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell should not be on the hot seat. Like, it's ridiculous for to people be saying this. Um, I'm just hoping the Vikings make the right decision. I'd maybe pay him the 3 years for 100 million, and maybe have JJ sit, and then if now maybe do some cap manipulation, maybe 2 years. In 2 years,
2 years,
Huh.
70 mil.
70 mil. Like,
I mean, at that point,
maybe with a three. I don't know. Do the NFL do third-year options? Like, see where it goes.
no. I mean,
I mean, is that the
probably put that
NBA
in the
thing?
contract. You could probably put that in the contract.
Yeah, like 3 years. We'll sign you for 2 years. Give you that money, and then we'll see where we're at in 3 years. So, but yeah, it's tough. So, great season by the Vikings. Obviously, sad it had to end the way it did in the last two games of the season, where you just weren't competitive at all. Even though you won 14 games. So yeah, and then the Rams. Yeah, good season by the Rams. Hopefully they can do it again. They can try to get out of the divisional.
Yeah, so one thing I wanted to say about the Vikings is very unfortunate because the Vikings lost in total 4 games this year. And those 4 games were started against the Lions, and then they went on the road to play the Rams, and they lost those games. They didn't lose again until the Lions, and then had to go on the road the next week and play the Rams. So it's just unfortunate timing. And here's a stat for you, Christian. I want you to guess this.
Give me that stat.
Do you know what the record is for teams the week after they play the Lions?
Oh, was it like it was like that 49er stat last year. Uh,
I'll tell you now.
yeah, it's a losing record. Is it like is it O for
It's not
is
over,
it
but
like
there's 17
two?
games. 17
17?
games. So
I'll go with 3 and
14.
14.
It's 2 and 15.
Doing 50. I was gonna say
And then you
two.
go, okay, but are they bad losses? Yeah, the average margin of loss is 14 points.
Oh my god, yeah.
So you play the Lions, you're basically going to lose by 2 touchdowns to them.
Yeah,
So they
they
lost
got
by 18 points. So
demolished.
it's just,
Never
I know people
close.
want to, like, the Vikings. This is the way we talk about the Packers being like, oh, just
It
tough
should
draw.
be.
That's how we should talk about the Vikings. The Vikings had a tough draw. They had to play the Lions last game of the season after we know what happens after you play the Lions. They had to be in the same division as the Lions. Didn't get a home field playoff game despite winning 14 games, the first time that's ever happened. And then they had to go on the road and play a Rams team that matches up really well against them. And Matt Stafford, for some reason, was just. I mean, it's because their defense is so predicated on blitzing, and Matt
Yeah,
Stafford's like,
that's
"You're gonna
that's
blitz
it's
me?
the it's
Okay,
the Brian Flores way.
you're gonna blitz me? Okay, bet.
That's what he does.
Blitz me. See what happens." So good for the Rams. Yeah, I don't know. The Rams feel like this is about what they are.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna lose to the Eagles this week,
I just
and
hope it's competitive.
I think we're gonna start to really have the conversations. Maybe the conversation won't even have to happen. It might already be like in motion.
True.
I think Matt Stafford's going to be not on this team next year.
Like retired or
I
like
don't
they're
know,
gonna
but
get rid of.
I think the Rams are going to move off of him. Like I think he's older now. He's not the same guy. They accomplished what they needed to. They got a Super Bowl together.
They did get a
Now
Super
move on.
Bowl.
Like you're not. He's just limited. He's inconsistent now. He's limited. I think Sean McVay's going to want to retool that offense. Um, Go bring in another receiver to replace Cooper Kupp, who's also gotten older. Pair him with
Yeah.
Puka. Keep building that O line, bring in a young quarterback, and start the future. Jared Goff. Sean McVay did not bring in Jared Goff. He
He
has
did
never
not.
gotten to draft a quarterback. He has never gotten to be in that
They've
conversation.
never had a
Never had it.
chance.
So that's where I think this is going for the Rams. Is hey, good season, you got to play well to
Hey,
win,
yeah,
but
it's about for a time for
the
them
Stafford era is about to end.
to turn new leaf.
All right.
Yeah,
Anything else
that's
on
it.
Vikings?
No, I mean that's about it.
All right, well, we can get started with our next thing. So, Christian, as always, is going to present his tiers, his five rankings, which, for the record, he does not rank the teams. He doesn't do that. That's contrary to popular belief. The vibes just speak to him, and he puts them. And sometimes they surprise him. Sometimes he's in the middle of this and goes, "Why is this team here? I don't understand it." But that's what the vibes have called for. So, without further ado, Christian, go over your tiers.
All right, bottom tier. Playing with house money.
Large, great. I love
Playing
that.
with house money. Got two teams here. Got the Commanders and the Texans. As we just got done talking about the Commanders. Just I'm just really hoping for a good game. I don't think if the Commanders lose, it's not going to be the focus is not going to be on the Commanders. It's going to be like, okay, the Rams they're now in the uh, conference championship game. Can they get over this hump and get back to the Super Bowl? There. Oh no, Lions. Sorry, I for the longest time, like for like 2 days, maybe like a day and a half, 2 days. I thought we were getting Lions Rams, and I was getting Commanders Eagles, and I was like, wait, that doesn't come. And then one day I was like, that doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I mean, Commanders. It's just a must play. Like it's just a. Hopefully, Jaden Daniels plays well in this game. And then if they lose, like no sweat on them. Just hopefully, they build on it, take it into the next season and build on it. So, yeah, playing with house money for the Commanders and for the Texans. I mean, hey man, we this whole season you've been getting dogged on, and people have been like, oh, they're a first round exit. Me and Jake included, and you played well, and you made the Chargers look silly, and now you're back on the road against Kansas City, back in the divisional round. Got a great defense, but still worried about CJ there and that offense. So, would you just like sneeze or something?
What'd
Am
you
I
say?
hearing? I'm hearing myself again. I think.
Oh,
Oh, now it's gone.
okay.
I hear it every now and then. Okay.
Sorry
Yeah, and
about
so for
that.
the Texans, just to play well. Just play well. at least offensively. Not expecting you to win, but maybe keep it close. If that defense can maybe get some turnovers there, we'll see. Uh, Patrick Mahomes gets very conservative with the ball. He doesn't like throw interceptions and stuff like that. I mean, because he knows our defense is good, and as long as I don't turn the ball over, we'll have our opportunities to uh, get up there. And then they got some rest. Travis Kelsey, he got some rest, much needed rest. He plays well in the playoffs.
Christmas. Him and Mahomes.
Yeah, yeah. They so hopefully they with that rest they'll be coming out looking great. But yeah, just a must play well for the both of these teams, and you shouldn't get too much flack come going into the off season. Next year, just one team is the Los Angeles Rams, and it's the can they do it again?
Yeah.
Can they do it again? Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. I'm glad you brought up the Matthew Stafford thing because I thought I was crazy going. I'm like, is Matthew Stafford going to retire after this season or something like that? So
I don't know if
I'm
he'll
glad.
retire. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
because I thought I was sure. I'm like, I wonder what Jay's going to think about this. But yeah, can they do it again? Matthew Stafford's like you said, getting up there in age. Cooper Cup, yeah, he's after that triple crown, it's been a rough season for him. He's getting older up there, so yeah, maybe the Rams gonna be taking the next step in a new chapter, getting a young quarterback there. So we'll see what they do if they can get it out of if they can beat the Rams there. I mean the Eagles, because we all know what they're gonna try to do if they're going to try. They got to stop Saquon and then try to make Jalen Hurts beat you through the air. And if they can do that, they got a shot. I'll give them a shot, especially with that young defense. What do you say?
And then they need to score, which
They also need to score. They need to score and take advantage of that. But the first part of their plan should be stopping Saquon. That should be load in the box, play man to man, and hope. And if Jalen Hurts beats you over the air, then you got to adjust. But yeah, that should be their first priority: stopping Saquon. All right. Nothing's changed at the top of these next two tiers. Arrowhead guest list. Like I said, this was going to be the divisional round matchup. This is a rough one because this is a must play well for both QBs because the media is just sharpening their pitchforks to whatever quarterback loses.
I got such a strong take on this game. I'm excited to give. But
Cool. I can't wait because dude, it's just like if Lamar like both players have to play well. Like they have to because if Josh Allen loses, plays bad, and loses, it's man. Josh, what is this like? Was it the fourth straight year, third straight year? They had a home playoff game in the divisional round, and they lost each time. Um, like, can he do it? And then for Lamar, it's the playoff struggles and all that, yada yada yada. He's gonna win and has a potential. One of these QBs is probably gonna win the MVP, and so it doesn't look great for Lamar. Three-time MVP has only been in the AFC Championship once, so it's this is a tough game for both quarterbacks. I feel bad for the loser for one, but hopefully they both play well. We get a good solid game out of it, and then because the media is going to jump on the loser, whoever loses, the media is gonna pounce on the other one. So hopefully they play well.
a great take by Nick Wright because the three other games are very like we all have a pretty good idea of how they're gonna go.
I mean, yeah, like the favorites are like, okay, yeah, this is about how it is, but this one
This
being
game
a
actually
one
means a lot,
point, yeah,
and whoever loses, I do agree, is like probably gonna get a bit of a rough awakening through the media.
yeah. And then Super Bowl, Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, both of all those teams favored in their game. They should win. They should be in the AFC Championship next week, next Saturday and Sunday, uh, and yeah, that's the tiers, baby. I mean, we're down to 4 games down to 4 games.
Yeah, we have 7 games left this
Yeah.
season. So very sad. 8 teams left. I have no issues with this. I think you nailed it. I think plenty.
It's very easy.
I do feel like they're a tier above those, so I like that they got their own tier.
I was well the tier it was saying to put them in the same, but I'm like the Rams. I'd say your take better because they have the QB.
What?
Well, with Matthew Stafford, he's. I put him the experience and stuff. Have him over Jaden, and then also with CJ because CJ just hasn't had a good season this year. So
Well, I also think I think I was a little higher than the on the Rams than most people. I had them in the NFC Championship against the Lions, um, which I guess can still happen technically.
making it can.
But I, I I don't know how people feel about the Rams. Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel to me like if they lose in the divisional, people are gonna go, yeah, okay. But like, it also doesn't feel like they're playing with house money because like they
Yeah,
got to the playoffs last year. They almost beat the Lions. Like, this is a team you expect to possibly make a deep playoff run. It feels like losing in the divisional is where they're supposed to lose. Whereas the
yeah,
other two teams, it's like I don't know how y'all are here.
right. Like you shouldn't be here, but yet you are.
So I think that's a good spot to put them. Arrowhead guest list, insane. It's worked out exactly the way I think we all thought it would. And then Super Bowl, yeah, those three teams, those are the three teams that it feels like really could. I feel like this is not a hot take at all, but the top five teams you have, one of them is going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just who it's going to be. So I like the list, Christian. Good one, as always. Can't wait to play the intro. Can't wait to see what you have. 14.
Before you see what happens.
All right. Well, let's get into some NFL news really quick. Let's do some rounds. So really quick, let's talk about coaching hires. Mike Vrabel going to the Patriots.
Love that.
Yeah, love it. Great hire. They need a culture builder.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do with Drake May. I know there's some people that don't like Drake May, so we'll see where they land there.
You at least run it back this year. See what you got. Like you need to get him some playmakers. Like, come on. Like,
No, they need. I mean, Seki. I thought Drake May was pretty good.
yeah.
We'll see how he does in year two, but
He has to play the Bills twice. The Dolphins are annoying somewhat, and then the Jets are the Jets. And you're in the AFC, so like it's already tough. It's top heavy already.
and the other big coaching news that came out of this week was the Dallas Cowboys parting ways with Mike McCarthy.
I got
A
I
little
got things to say about this.
okay. I'm excited to hear. Just I'll finish introducing it. A little bit weird that it took a week to get to this point. It sounds like
Right. This is just Jerry, because we usually kind of like what Nick Wright said. It was just like it's just like because like usually the story is like the Cowboys are in this like in the wild card news. They're playing or whatever, and then after they lose, we're like whatever with the Cowboys. And I feel like this was just a ploy for Jerry just to get talked about on sports radio and
Jerry
media.
has been known to do that. Jerry has been known to do that. He did that with Dak's contract earlier this year. Waited till the day of the season starting to say it. A lot of people think when he was doing the thing with Zeke that contract had already been worked out, and he just pretended like it wasn't so they could keep getting like media attention. It's like very possible. So what's your take on it though? Like what you're not a fan of them moving off of him?
I will. I'm not gonna sit here and defend Mike McCarthy, but this feels very scapegoaty. Like, what, how many years did they deal with Garrett
They dealt with Jason Garrett for almost 5
Jason
years.
Garrett? There it is. Jason. I was like, isn't it Jason Garrett?
He got
How long
hired.
was he the
He
quarterback
got
or
hired
the head
halfway.
coach?
He got hired halfway through 2010
2010.
and got fired after the 2019 season. They dealt with him
So
almost
9 years.
almost a decade. Yeah, I don't.
How
It
many?
depends on how you count it. It was basically a decade.
How many 8-8 seasons did they have?
They had three straight 8-8 seasons in
Three
11,
straight
12,
8-8 seasons.
13.
How many winning seasons did they have?
14 they went 12-4.
Mhm.
15 Romo got hurt and they went 4-12.
Okay, so that was like that year when Romo got it was like their worst year at like 4-12, right?
Dak came in 2016. They went 13-3, first seed lost. 2017 they went 9-7 and missed the playoffs. 2018 they went 10-6, won a
Okay.
playoff game, lost in the divisional, and then 2019 I think they went 8-8 in 2019. They either went 8-8 or 9-7, but they missed
So
the playoffs. They collapsed in the back half. It was a mess.
so they had what 1 2 years with was it 2 or 3 years with like double digit wins?
Yes, 14, 16, and 18 were all double-digit wins. 17 was a
Uh,
winning record.
Okay,
And so he had
and
four double-digit
then
seasons 12 and 11 were all 8-8 or worse.
Okay. And Mike McCarthy has been there for 3 years now,
4 years.
4 years, and he went 12-5 for the first two.
He went 5-11 his 6-10 or 5-11 his first year. That was the
Okay,
COVID
that weren't
year.
okay.
Dak broke his leg.
Oh,
The
okay,
defense
okay.
was horrible.
We can throw that one out.
And
Okay,
then
back to back 12-5
22
seasons.
and 23, 3 straight years of 12-5.
Three straight. Okay, it was three. I thought it was
Oh, so
two.
this is his fifth year. This is his fifth year with us. And then this year
Okay.
we went 7-10.
Okay. So first year you got there, Dad got injured. We
Defense
kind of
was
throw that.
ass.
Yeah, we throw that away. And then 3 straight years of 12-5.
Playoff appearances.
Playoff.
Playoff win.
One playoff win. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not gonna finish the playoff win. And then this season, Dak defense lost a lot of talent. Or yeah, lost talent. Eagles got better.
Dan Quinn,
Yeah.
They took a step back.
Lost talent. Eagles got better. Commanders got better. Giants were there. And Dak got hurt in the middle of the season. Defense wasn't playing well.
For the
And
record, they were not
weren't playing well. So I'm doing all that just to say, we dealt with all of the Jason Garrett, and we dealt for years and years and years with, hey, we need to fire Jason Garrett. Hey, we need to fire Jason Garrett. And he said, no, we're going to keep going. And he's what?
Jason Garrett's his boy.
Yeah. And then Mike McCarthy comes in here. First year, we throw that out. And then he goes back 3 straight years of 12-5. And then the 1 year when he loses defensive coordinator, they lose players, and you say coming into this season, going all in and all that, and all it is just we're playing Dak top money and we're playing CeeDee Lamb top money, and then it doesn't go well, and then we're sitting here like Mike McCarthy, what's wrong? Why couldn't you win? And it's like that Eric Andre meme where it's Eric Andre and he shoots I can't remember his name right now. He shoots him. He's like, "What? Why did Mike McCarthy do this?" It's like, Jerry, what are you talking about? You're over here. You didn't give him a run game. His defense, it took Mike Zimmer and that defense to get clicky. Micah Parsons got hurt. DeMarcus Lawrence got hurt. Or not DeMarcus Lawrence.
He did.
That was not DeMarcus Lawrence.
Too.
Oh, who?
DeRon Bland got hurt.
DeRon Bland
got hurt.
Yeah, you had all the, and we're sitting here man, Mike, you ain't doing enough this season. It's like, what are you talking about?
So, I don't know if he's scapegoating because it sounds like they just couldn't agree to terms. I think.
Yeah.
I think. Jerry,
they didn't want to pay him. I feel like it was the years because coaches.
Jerry wanted to give him a 1 or 2 year deal, and Mike's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, the Bears want to. He's like, I can get hired by another team right now.
I hope he goes to the Bears.
It's like, I'm not gonna sit. And no offense to the Cowboys, but from what I understand, Mike McCarthy was not a fan of the circus that is.
It is a very And did you hear what Troy Aikman said about the Cowboys? He had said something before the divisional game of the Vikings Rams. He's like, yeah, this isn't a coveted job, and yeah, it is. It's crazy. You got Jerry over here threatening to fire people on his radio show. He's saying all this stuff. In the draft, they wanted to draft a running back that wasn't available anymore. It's it is a pretty wild and crazy this organization they got over there in Dallas, man. I wouldn't want to be a part of that either.
I think,
and you always getting scrutinized for whatever you do or don't say.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think people. I understand that. I wish the Cowboys' culture was a little better, but their culture's not bad. They draft well. They typically have a very talented team.
What does that get them?
I mean, that's the thing they have a winning culture to the point where they can be competitive and get into the top 8, the divisional round. But they never have a team. And there's for a number of reasons, right? The culture, the priorities of the organization, the fact that they don't go out and sign free agents. I think all of that plays into a factor. But I think the hardest thing about this job is it's just the entire media world is
on
looking
you.
at you in a way that that they weren't before. Like when I've heard, I think Mark Sanchez talked about it, right? He's like, it gets really crazy because after, like, the deeper you get into the playoffs, he's like, you know, normal games, at the end of the games, you have your normal local reporters. They're all there reporting and all that. He's like, but the
Yeah.
further you get into the playoffs, the more people are there because those teams over there are out. So you're getting more regional
Yeah.
people, and that region grows and grows and grows the deeper you get into the playoffs. That's just the Cowboys. That's just their existence. Like, they're always going to be talked about. Everybody wants to talk about them. Everybody, like, so whoever takes this job is gonna have to deal with that. Um, I would have been fine with Mike McCarthy coming back. Um, I am more in the position where it's like, okay, if you're firing Mike,
You better
who
have
are
him
you
playing.
bringing in?
Because if you bring in Kellen
We
Moore,
know it's going to be Kellen Moore. We know they're going to hire Kellen Moore. And
okay, I'm just done. I'm just you bring in Kellen Moore, like that just tells me Jerry. Like it's you just want a black dog. That's all you want. Just somebody that's not gonna say much, gonna do what they, gonna go with the flow, and is just gonna be just he's gonna be there. He's gonna be just a face,
it's
barely.
disappointing. And you know what? The rumors about Dion,
Not getting Dion. I'm tired of these rumors. Or Cowboys gonna get this.
if they
A
did hire
plus.
Dion, what would you think about it?
I would love it.
Okay, okay.
But I mean, that's the only thing that would, because Mike Vrabel's off the table, and it seems like Bill Belichick can come through that door. So that would be the only, and they ain't getting Ben Johnson. Aaron Glenn, for some reason, wants to go to the Jets. Please, Aaron Glenn, don't go to
Come
the
to Dallas.
Jets.
I would love Aaron Glenn. I would love Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, former
Do not go
Cowboy.
to the Jets.
Aaron Glenn, former Cowboy. Former
Oh,
Cowboy.
nice.
Hey, he's been in the building. Come on, come to Dallas.
So Dion, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson. I would love those guys. Um, there's probably like some people I'm not really thinking about right now, but those would be my top. Yeah, my mom's calling.
They have interviewed the Cowboys for the record. They have interviewed Kellen Moore, or they're
Yeah, of course.
interviewing Kellen Moore, Robert Saleh,
I don't hate that.
and Leslie Frazier.
I don't know Leslie Free.
Leslie
I've
Frazier
heard
is
that
now the
name. I've heard
Seahawks.
that name.
He's the Seahawks assistants coach. He's been in. He was the Bills defensive coordinator for a long time. He was a Vikings
Okay,
head coach
I
way back in the day. Way like
don't hate
a
that.
decade plus ago. He was the Vikings head coach.
The the A plus. I mean, the A plus would be either the
Dion.
Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson or Dion.
So bad.
Like Dion would be mine,
I'm trying to not get my hopes up because I don't think he's coming.
but he's not coming unless they pay him a lot, and then I don't know if they'll have a conversation, but I would hope Dion would be like, "Hey Jerry, chill the f out."
I
Like,
want him so bad. I want Dion so bad. But
well, then if they get Dion, are you willing to trade? Let's see, Micah. Probably not
we're
CD.
not getting Shador.
Oh,
It's just I don't think there's any way to make it work
you got
because
the 12th spot.
I don't think there's. But Dak's contract is too
You
expensive.
have to keep Dak. Oh, you would have to keep Dak.
Like we could not move off of Dak. Like that would be the thing. Like you would have to
Yeah,
move
yeah. I
Dak
forgot you can't.
to
Yeah,
get Shador.
yeah. You can't get sure.
So
So
and
then, well, yeah. I mean, you just what 12 rounds. You got the 12th pick. So what are you getting in the first round? We need like, running. You ain't get a first round running back.
if
I mean, it worked. It can't work. Like Jameer Gibbs doing good. Dude, like so, it ain't impossible. And Zeke was good for 3 4 years. He was the best back for almost half a decade.
if who's the back? I can't remember his name out of Boise.
Oh, Alshon Jenti.
If Alshon Genty's available at 12, which he probably won't be, um, down, down. Draft him at 1. We need a good. This is the thing. Like this year was such a return to running backs in a way that we've missed. Like
Yeah,
teams that went out and made great running back signings. The Chargers, the Packers,
the
the
Ravens,
the Ravens, the
which they were
Eagles.
good last year.
All of them were very successful.
Yeah.
The Lions, maybe the best team in the NFL, their entire identity was we have two awesome running backs. Um, the teams that did not have good running back rooms, the Raiders, the Cowboys, those
The
are
Dolphins.
teams.
I'll throw the Dolphins. I mean, I like what we can have, but we need to have an awesome running game. Hopefully, we get an offensive line.
We learned this year, in my opinion, that like you need to invest in the running back. You need to invest in a running back, and I think the Cowboys are going to want to do that. This is a really deep running back room, so maybe if you don't get,
Maybe come back in the second, like if you like another guy.
yeah, if you don't get Genty in the first round, maybe you come back and get a guy in the second and third who can still be a good bell cow back, and you spend that because we need defensive line help.
Yeah.
We need offense. Our offensive line's decent, but it still needs another guy or two. We need another receiver. We need another weapon.
Yeah.
We got a couple of needs that we can address with the 12th pick, but if Genty is there at 12, I want him. Like that's the guy I would want. So anyway, yeah, the head coaching hiring list is very long. Aaron Glenn, as you said, has said he wants to go to the Jets. Joe Brady is out there. I wouldn't mind Joe Brady. I don't think we're going to hire Joe Brady, but Joe Brady seems awesome. Brian Flores is out there. He's getting interviews. Josh McCown is getting interviews.
I
Lewis
think
Reddick.
Brian Flores should get another shot, but
Lewis Reddick and Rex.
he should not be going to the Bears. He's going to ruin Caleb Williams.
Oh yeah, and I want Mike McCarthy to go to the Bears. I would like that. That would be a great hire. Isn't it hilarious? Isn't it so funny? I just think I cannot get over how hilarious it is that like when a coach is on the Cowboys, he's bad and everybody hates him. Mike McCarthy's trash. The second it's same thing with Kellen Moore. Nobody gave a shit about Kellen Moore until him and Mike McCarthy leave the Cowboys, and all of a sudden it's like, oh man, Kellen Moore. Mike McCarthy would be a great hire for all these teams. But when he's on Dallas, nobody likes him. It's just, I digress.
I wouldn't hate that. I would not hate that.
Some other news: the Dolphins will play in Madrid this year.
I did see that.
That's
Yeah.
there was another. Who's playing in Berlin? I can't remember. There's one team that's playing in Berlin next year.
I didn't see. I did see the Dolphins news today.
Um, Another news. This headline caught my attention. Jared Verse for the Rams said he hates Eagles fans.
Yeah,
Quote,
I mean, with the viral video, yeah, it just shows you just how disgusting their fans can be.
He also
Not all of them, but
he attended
some.
high school for 3 years in Pennsylvania.
Oh, so he
Around
knows.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun facts. Some other news. Yeah, I think that's all the news I got. Any other news? Any other coaching news you want to talk about?
Not really. Is there? I don't know. Has anybody been really hired yet? I don't think so.
Outside of Mike Vrabel, no.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we can get to best bets. All
Sorry,
right.
how'd you do?
I'm at 2-2.
Dude.
Not
Yeah.
amazing, but not bad. Considering the fact that I started 0-2, did not look like it was going to be a good week. I had the Chargers -3, big miss. You also had the Chargers -3.
Yeah, I did.
Had the Steelers.
Felt like a lot.
I can't. That game went exactly the way I thought it would. I just thought the Steelers would score a garbage time touchdown, and like it would be. I thought it would be like a 31-23 game or something.
Yeah, they'd be
Like,
blowing them out there, and then
like it really wasn't if you saw the game. And the Steelers just didn't get that last garbage time touchdown, so they missed. I had the Eagles -5, money.
money.
Rams +2.5, money.
Money.
So 2-2. We got 7 games left for the season. We are 45-49 on the year now. So we gotta get these last 7, get us 51%. Still would not be profitable at that point, but would make me feel a little better.
Yeah.
All right, without further ado, we got 3 games to pick this week, and boy, oh boy, I don't feel good about any of them.
4 games?
3. I'm picking 3 this week.
Oh, you're picking 3. Oh, okay, my bad. I forgot who you were. I forgot where
Christian, I
you.
don't want to saddle you with the one game I don't pick, so feel free to make your pick the same as mine.
I'm gonna assume it's the Ravens Bills game because it's a pick 'em.
So, my first bet. This is the lock of the week. This bet right here is lock of the week. You put all your money on
Chiefs -8.
Eagles -6.5.
Eagles -6.5. All right, you're just not a believer in the Rams.
I just don't.
Can't get a push, so yeah.
I just think they're gonna get blown out. Like the
You
Eagles
know,
are
that's
firing. They're at
that's a
home.
whole that's a whole possession too.
The Rams are decent, but like they're gonna go a quarter or two without scoring, and the Eagles are just gonna run the ball and open it. It's. I think the Eagles are gonna win this game like 31 to like 17 or something.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna if the Rams stop their defense, maybe keep them on the field, Eagles defense on a lot of the game, but yeah, it's gonna be hard for the Rams to move the ball on them. So
For the record, I would love to be wrong. I would love the Rams to win this game. Worst case scenario is the Eagles. Same with last week. Worst case scenario is the Eagles win, but they win by less than 6 points. It's like if you're gonna win Philadelphia, at least give me the cover. If you're gonna not cover, at least lose for me. So go Rams, but I think the Eagles are gonna win. All right, next one. This is
next,
where I don't know what to go.
okay,
The other two I want. I'm very split. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna go ahead and go Chiefs -8.
okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and go Chiefs -8. I think the Chiefs are gonna take care of business.
I want to do the Texans +8 because I feel like they might cover. But what was it? What, was it 27? Was it 17? The last time they played?
The week before Christmas.
What was that game? What was the final score of that one?
It was not close.
Yeah, it was not. Let me see. It was
It was 27 and 19. 8 points.
27.
8 points.
It was 8 points. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
Chiefs -8.
Okay.
Um, and then, man, this is so tough. Oh man.
Yeah, because it's only 4 games, and it's like, man, we're really contemplating.
I'm gonna.
You're doing the command. Like, I don't think you're doing the Ravens Bills. So you're doing the Commanders Lions. So you're just
I
using.
honestly have no idea.
Are you going?
I want to be on the Lions -9.5, but
That's a lot of points, and I'm like, do I think the Commanders could cover it? Like, I think it could be a 2 possession game. They could maybe backdoor, but like, are you expecting them back to recover?
I mean that's the thing with the Commanders. It's a backdoor cover will always be there.
Yeah,
And then I don't think there's any. I don't know what the consensus is about between experts on the Bills Ravens. I have no
it's
idea.
split. Like, I would think it's split. I mean, Ravens only. Like, it's a pick 'em. You know? Like, it seems.
I'm seeing it on
This
ESPN.
is
Bills
the,
+1.
yeah. So it's like, who do you think's gonna like? It's basically who do you think's gonna win the game?
I want. This is where I'm
And
split
like, I
because
still am undecided. I think I know where I'm going, but
I feel like I know who I think is going to win the game.
I think I do too. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. I maybe just go Lions -9.5.
I'm going.
I think that's gonna be mine. I think
This is terrible. I'm going Ravens -1.
Ravens -1. Okay, I didn't think you were gonna touch that game.
I think they're going to win. I
Uh,
want to be on the Bills. I really have no idea who I'm going to be rooting for because I love
uh,
both these teams. I love both these quarterbacks.
did you did you hear what John Harbaugh about his press conference? They're not practicing outside, or like it's like, yeah, we're practicing inside. We turn on the AC or whatever. Not something he said, and then like a reporter was like, why don't you practice outside? He's like, it's too cold. Because it's supposed to be like it's saying like 18
Bills
degrees.
+1.
It's like 18 degrees,
Going
but
Bills.
I think the feels like is gonna be like negative something. It's supposed to be cold.
Bills +1.
Are you going? Oh, you're switching it.
Switching Bills +1. So I've got Chiefs -8, Eagles -6.5, Bills +1. Final, lock it in.
Oh, okay. Bills +1. So are you picking the Bills, or wait, are you just saying they'll cover? They'll be within.
I mean, I think they'll win at a +1. Like unless they have to win, it can't be a tie because it can't that can't exist at this point.
I think I'm gonna go Lions -9.5. Well, I don't know. The
Tough.
Commanders are a little scary because they could get a
They could
late
be down
score
by
there.
17 points and still, or they could be down by basically 3 possessions and still back cover at the end. That's what scared me off. Um,
Yeah,
but it also wouldn't surprise me if the Lions blow them out.
it wouldn't. Also, yeah. Uh, they're getting healthier. They had the week off.
Well, the other thing that scares me about the
They're
Commanders,
playing indoors,
yeah,
but that
I'll
also
talk
that
about it.
that, that also helps the Commanders too. I think I'll go with Ravens -1.
All right, Ravens
Yeah,
-1.
I'll go
No,
Ravens
Ravens
minus
-1.
one.
I'm on Bills +1. Great. All right, there we go. So, Christian, we've done it all. It's time
Well,
to
I
pick.
may. Nah, we'll see.
You want to switch?
No, no, not right now. Maybe tomorrow. I got until what 3:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's time for our best to make our predictions for the best week of football. So, without
This
further ado,
is. This
we
should
got
be better
five
than.
games.
Oh,
We got 5 games for NFL and the college championship
oh yeah,
on
Monday,
Monday. So, Christian, we'll start. Texans 3:30 on Sunday. You know how it is. You know what it is.
Saturday.
4:30 or yeah, Saturday. Sorry, 4:30 Eastern. They're going to Arrowhead. No shocker here. I'm going the Chiefs.
Chiefs as well. I mean, hopefully the defense can keep them in it, keep Kansas City from scoring. I mean, uh, I feel like we might see. I think we're just gonna get the regular Chiefs script with maybe like a little bit more scoring, just a little bit. Like what was it last year? They were like 21 points a game last year with all the drops and all that, and they didn't go into the playoffs well. But then they upped it to like 23. So it's gonna be. I think we're gonna if they get the ball first, it's gonna be like a right down the field kind of type thing. Maybe Texas will get them some third downs here and there, but I think it's going to be just right on schedule. They just go down the field, score, and then after that, they'll get one or two more scoring drives and then field goals for the rest of the way. Um, but yeah, it's all about how do the Texans respond to that? Can they get stops when they need to? And then can uh, CJ Stroud and that offense get something going against that Chiefs defense? But yeah, I'm going Chiefs.
I am as well. Yeah, I mean, I kind of co-sign everything you said. I think they'll come out with a good script and kind of just take the lead early and then just sit on it.
Yeah.
That's my big
Travis
concern
Kelsey
about it.
got some rest, so like I think he'll be pretty good. He'll be featured quite a bit. Pacheco's back. He's had a month or so and then he just got to sit out for a week. So they should do. They should be. Yeah, they should be good.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs here. My only concern as far as the spread goes is, could they get up like 17-0 early or something, coast, get one more touchdown, and win this game like 24-17 because the Texans do a mad scramble at the end and make it seem a little interesting, maybe. But I think the Chiefs will cover. I think they'll win comfortably. Houston, hey, no shame in losing
Rooting for you, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
All right, our second game, the other lower seed playing the number 1 seed in the NFC this time. The Lions hosting the Commanders.
We are getting both number one seeds on Saturday.
This game, I think again, I'm going to take the Lions, but look, I'll say this about the Commanders really quick. We have seen the Commanders play a bunch of insane,
Yeah.
hyper-focused games,
Yeah.
and common knowledge, basic wisdom tells you, oh, you play a crazy emotional game, you come in the next week and you're a little flat. And that's just what happened to them last week with the crazy emotional playoff road win. But this team does not respond flat the next week. They haven't. They continue to play consistently. They just do it week after week. So I don't think you're going to get a flat Commanders performance. I think they're going to really play well. That's why that spread makes me a little nervous. But Lions off a bye. They're going to be healthy. They are the better team in basically every facet of this game, maybe minus quarterback. Um, I think the Lions are just going to ground and pound, and the Commanders aren't going to be able to keep up. And I think you're going to end up with like a 30-20 type of game, something like that. And the Lions are going to take care of business.
Yeah, That's how I feel. Like I feel like maybe they can get a backdoor cover. If you are going command, it's a risk, but I could see the Lions playing very well with the rest and all that. Maybe Aaron Glenn they get that defense figured out a bit. But I mean, it's a tough challenge. I mean, Jaden Dan, he's a good quarterback, man, and you got to keep him. Well, it's weird because it's like you keep him in the pocket, he can dot you up sometimes, but then if you aren't disciplined with your rush lanes, he can kill you on the ground. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think this should be one of the one of the most fun games. Hopefully, if the Commanders play well, but like I said, Commanders play with house money as long as they don't come out and play terrible. They should not get any flack uh, if they lose to this game. And so yeah, no shame to both of these teams playing on Saturday if
Agreed.
they have decent showings.
And we have in our Sunday slate the Rams traveling to Philly. I think the Eagles, as I've
The
said
more
before,
competitive games, I
I
feel
think
like.
they're going to win this game convincingly. Um,
I'm a little nervous. I don't know why about this game. Like I'm thinking like maybe the Rams could have something going, but not confident. I'm not gonna be like, no, I believe in the Rams. Like if it's 10-0, something like 14-3, I wouldn't be surprised with the Eagles up like that. Like I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna go Eagles here. And I imagine you're going Eagles as well.
yeah, I don't see a
Yeah.
path with the Rams here. Like I know, like people like Nick Wright, he's going to pick the Rams to beat the Eagles this week. I don't know how you say that. Like the Eagles' defense is this offense is too inconsistent for the Rams. This defense for the Eagles is just going to stifle them. They're on the road in Philly.
It'll be cold.
Philly's won a game convincingly and has heard all week that they've been trash. Like they're going to come into this game like, oh, we're playing a team that we've already blown out. Watch this. Like the Rams aren't going to be able to stop the run consistent. I do not see a path for the Rams to win this game. I think they're going to lose this game convincingly unless the Eagles just come out and play horribly, which I don't think is going to happen. So
I mean, yeah, maybe if you can force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball 25 plus times, 30 times, like maybe you got a shot.
all right, and then we go to our final game. This is the game. This is the big one.
This is a big one.
a legacy defining game right here. I
I feel bad, man. I hate I knew this was coming. Like we were like this was coming. Like as soon as
for it.
the seedings were like settled, I'm like this is where it's gonna come down to.
Before we pick,
Yeah.
there's been a couple segments I've seen about this on some of the shows
It's I
online
mean it's the
lately.
game of the week.
Who do you think needs this win more? Lamar or the
It's so hard.
I mean it as a team too, not just the quarterbacks. Lamar
Oh,
or
just team
Josh and the Bills. Who needs this win more?
needs this more. And like the team, not just the QB.
Yeah, like just who who has more pressure on them to win this game?
I mean, you can make an argument for both of them. Um,
I have a very strong argument one way.
okay. I mean, as a team, who needs this more? I think both of them need it. Like, both. I'm going to go. God. Who needs this more? I think I'm going to go Bills, who needs it more. Like, just how they have been struggling in the divisional round these past few years. Josh Allen maybe getting his first MVP this season, but who knows? It probably will might go to Lamar, but it's still up in the air. Um, or at least I don't know who's gonna win the MVP. But yeah, I just think it's just is a struggle with their with their divisional round woes. I think they need it more. They're at home. They're well, I guess they're not favored anymore. I think at one point they were favored. They're at home. They had a divisional round. Now they did get thumped the first round, uh, but yeah, um, I'm gonna go Bills because they haven't been in the AFC. Lamar and them got made it to the AFC Championship last year. Um, I guess the Bills didn't have a lot of expectations going into the season. I'm gonna go Ravens. I'm gonna switch to Ravens. Ravens being they got Derrick Henry. They made it to the AFC Championship last year. Lamar and his woes in the playoffs. Now he's kind of shaking that off a little bit, but it's still there. Like his little is a thing there. He's could be potentially winning his third MVP. He had a great passing season. Was it like 41 passing touchdowns? You know, they've been running the ball well. Uh, their defense started to pick it up late in the season. So I'm going to say the more pressure's on the Ravens. They're on the road. They beat this team earlier in the season, thumped this team earlier in the season. So yeah, Ravens final answer.
I agree. I think it's the Ravens. I think it's clearly the Ravens, and the reason I think that is because a lot of what you said, they blew this team out in the regular season. Um, but also, like, I don't know who's going to win the MVP. I think it'll be Lamar.
Their MVP.
But that's
About
the
a
thing. If Lamar wins the MVP for a third time and has been knocked out in the divisional, we're going to go, dude. It's going to feel like when Aaron Rodgers won his fourth MVP after losing in the NFC Championship. We're all like, or he lost. He lost in the division to the 49ers. We're all like, dude, I don't care this man.
yeah.
If Josh Allen loses in the divisional and wins the MVP, we're all going to go, nice. Josh Allen got an MVP.
He got MVP, but I think going into next season, like he's gonna have that badge of can you get out of the divisional round, dog?
Well, so I think here's my thoughts, and maybe I'm wrong about this. I think the divisional narrative is made up. I don't. To me, I don't feel like the Bills' knock has been they can't get out of the divisional. The Bills' knock is what we all know the knock is. They can't beat the Chiefs. They can't beat the Chiefs. They're 0-3 against the Chiefs, and
They can't beat. They can't beat the Bengals. Well, I guess that was one game.
Bengals in the divisional. I don't disagree with that, but I think if the Ravens lose this game, we're all going to go Lamar, Baltimore, win. When are you
Yeah.
going to do this? You're favored on the road. You're playing a team you already blew out. Your defense has been playing the best in the league over the last month. It's like, when are you going to do this? The Bills, on the other hand, they were supposed to take a step back this year.
Yeah.
They were retooling their team, retooling their defense. If they lose to a Ravens team that I think a lot of people think are better than them, people are going to go coin flip game. You're underdogs at home. You're retooling. No shame in losing this game to the Ravens. But here's where it gets weird. If the Bills win this game and next week lose to the Chiefs,
Yeah.
I think that is their worst case scenario. It's the rare instance where I think it would be better for them to lose in the divisional than to
Fair.
lose in the AFC Championship.
The Chiefs again.
Because if they lose, because if you get
It'll
to
be
the,
0-4 year. Yeah.
if you get to the AFC Championship, you don't get to be like, oh well, we're
Do you
retooling.
think they'd be? Do you think they'd be favored? Now I know they beat them in the regular season. They were favored in that game. Were they favored? No, I don't think they were favored when they played that AFC Championship game against the Chiefs.
all those years ago?
Yeah, I know they were favored in. They were favored in the game they played in Kansas City. No, they played in Buffalo.
Yeah, they were favored in the division.
I don't think they would be favored if they do win this game. So yeah, I think it would hurt them if they lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship once again.
It's because A, as you said, they'd be 0-4. B, you wouldn't be able to go, but we're retooling. It's like, dude, you made it to the AFC.
The AFC Championship.
Like, there's no such thing as retooling anymore. You were one of the top teams.
You were supposed, yeah.
The other thing that would hurt them is similar to the Ravens. The Ravens blew out the Bills this year in the regular season. The Bills were the only team that beat the Chiefs in a meaningful game this year. And they beat them by 2 possessions, technically, 30-21. So this is that weird instance where I feel like the Ravens, if they lose, we're all going to go, dude, again? But if the Bills lose, we go, toss-up game, you were the worst team. That's fine, As long as you
Yeah,
don't
I
lose to
mean,
the
Nick
Chiefs.
Wright will
As
probably be
long as you
like,
don't lose to the
okay, we
Chiefs,
all you don't lose
we're
the Chiefs.
okay. But if they win this game and then go lose to the Chiefs,
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think it would be better for them to lose
it's weird,
this
right?
game.
I think it's like the
Yeah,
rare instance where it actually would serve you better to lose this week than next week.
yeah,
Um, because then you can be like, we're retooling. You know, we lost to a better team. It is what it is. But if you beat the Ravens and lose to the Chiefs, it's like, no more. You don't get that excuse anymore. You're 0-4 against this team now. So I think more pressure is on the Ravens. Lamar with his possible third MVP. If he gets bounced in the divisional after winning a third MVP, people are gonna be like,
yeah.
so. Yeah. That said, I'm very sad that this game has to happen.
Right?
I don't want either team to lose. I love both. I really wish we had a way to like we could play three teams in the AFC Championship where they just don't play each other. Very sad.
If I was Kelsey, I would want that. I think.
I mean I would. It's very sad that one of these teams is going to go home because I love and respect both these teams, these organizations, these quarterbacks. Um, yeah, it sucks, but we got to pick one, Christian.
One has to. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I mean, it's now the John Harbaugh.
That scares me.
That's a little. That's a little. Be like it's too. The ground's too frozen outside. Is crazy to say in a game that you're about to play in. Um, but uh, but I mean, they got the tools to do it. Defense, and a great running game. You have the
Their
threat with
defense.
Lamar.
They moved Kyle Hamilton, and since then their defense has been elite. Like that big issue they had, they fixed it. So I mean, they
So,
have a complete team.
um, so I mean, they're favored. Overall, Lamar has had the better season quarterback wise over Josh Allen. And don't get me wrong, Josh Allen had a great season, but I mean, it does feel like, hey, we need Ravens. Like, if you're not gonna do it this year, when are you gonna do it, man?
Yeah,
I know we were saying that last year, but like, it's
I mean, but at least they made it to the AFC Championship last year. They get bounced in the
yeah,
divisional this year. It's like, dude, you just lost to a team you blew out.
man.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna again no conviction, no conviction.
This is the one. I'm just like, yeah.
I'm gonna go Bills.
All right, we're split on this game.
Yeah, I
The only game we're split on.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
picking the favorites in the other ones, and then we're split on
yeah.
this one. I I have no great argument for why I think it'll happen. I think they're at home. I think I trust Josh Allen a little more in the playoffs than I do Lamar. Lamar is
That is
0
better.
1 against the Bills in the playoffs.
Oh, so yeah, he has to fight some demons there.
Um,
Okay.
so I'll go the Bills.
Wait, wasn't this Lamar's first playoff? This is their first playoff game?
No,
Lamar's first.
this was Lamar's fourth playoff game. He lost to the Chargers his first year in the wild card.
Oh,
Year
okay.
two, he lost. He was the number one seed and lost to the Titans.
Yeah.
Then year three, I think he beat the Titans in the wild card and then lost to the Bills in the division.
Oh, yeah. So this would be a rematch of the divisional.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe. So I think yeah, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think that's how it went. So yeah, I like the I like the Bills here, I guess, but I really just want a great game.
This is yeah.
This
I
is
really I want all these games to be great, but this is the main one. Like if all the other ones suck and are all the favorites win and they're all blowouts, this one would would greatly disappoint me if this is the one that is terrible.
it has the makings and the stakes of an all-time classic playoff matchup.
This yeah, like they're all playoff games. Don't get me wrong, like like magnitude, like it should be feel like, but this one is like the one.
Yeah, so
Two
I'm gonna go
electric
with Bills.
quarterbacks and yeah.
All right. Well, Christian, let's really quick pick Ohio State Notre Dame.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't great throughout the playoffs, but I do want to say I want to congratulate I think this was a success. No SEC teams. This was what
This was
the
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 fifth and
four,
sixth teams.
the fifth
So
and sixth
it's
seed.
hilarious that the
if we had the old playoff format, these two teams would not have been in it.
Yeah, so I want to shout out, the college football. Like that was no the eighth and seventh seed.
No, I'm talking about the top 25 rankings at the end. Their
Oh,
seeding,
okay.
their final rankings at the end of the year. Because it would have been Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Penn State if the
Yeah.
four
Well,
playoff.
Texas was the five seed. Oh, well, I guess Texas would be
Texas
the
was
four.
number 3 though, ranked.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. So
And then Notre Dame was 5, Ohio State was 6. So these two teams would have missed, just not had an opportunity to go win a championship. And
yeah.
now they're playing for the championship thanks to this new seeding. So
So yeah, shout out. Yeah. So I'm glad it worked out for them. So hopefully they can get it bigger. Yeah. Oh, ooh, Ohio State Notre Dame though for the game. I think I'm gonna go Notre Dame.
nice. All right. Well, I'm excited. So we got 3 days of football starting tomorrow. So everybody
Yeah, like this should be a good weekend.
chill out, enjoy it. I hope you all have a long weekend. Depends. I know not everybody gets off.
Hopefully you get off Monday.
Yeah, I get off Monday. All right,
Nice.
everybody. Well, looking forward to it. You got anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No, happy birthday to my mom today, and then we don't record on Tuesdays, but happy birthday to my brother Colton on Tuesday, the 21st. So I'm gonna go see them a little bit after this. So
Drive
gotta
safe.
make a drive though, but yeah,
Drive safe. 3 hour trip.
thank you. Yeah,
So, all right. Well, we love y'all. Take it easy. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you at the next one. Go good games. That's what we're looking
peace.
for. Good games.
That's all I want. Good 3 days of football.